Close your eyes and remember the worst toothache you ever had. That throbbing, that burning, that feeling of your jaw being slowly crushed. Now imagine that pain and multiply it by 10. There is no dentist, no Novocaine, no drill, nothing. Just you, a sharp piece of flint, and someone who thinks they know what they are doing. For most of human history, this was the only dentistry available. But here is the strangest part of the story. For 2 million years, humans had perfect teeth, flawless. Hunter-gatherers had straight teeth, every single one of them. No cavities, no braces, no wisdom teeth problems. Their jaws were wide, their enamel strong, their smiles immaculate. Archaeologists have found skulls that are 5,000 years old. Straight teeth, wide jawbone, zero decay. 5,000 years without ever seeing a dentist. And the teeth were perfect. How? No sugar, no bread, no processed food of any kind. Hunter-gatherers ate meat, roots, nuts, and wild berries. Nothing that rotted teeth from the inside out. Their mouths were a balanced ecosystem. Good bacteria kept the bad ones in check, naturally. For 2 million years, dental health was simply not a problem. Then we invented farming. It changed everything, including your teeth. Agriculture meant grain. Grain meant carbohydrates. Carbohydrates meant sugar in your mouth. All day, every day. A bacteria called Streptococcus mutans threw a feast, and your teeth were the main course. In just a few generations, the balance shifted forever. Good bacteria died. Bad bacteria took over. For the first time in evolution, humans had cavities, and nobody understood why. They just knew it hurt. They blamed demons. They blamed curses. They blamed angry gods punishing them for unknown sins. But the most popular theory, by far, was the toothworm. An invisible creature living between teeth and gums, drinking your blood. This theory lasted over 2,000 years. It was completely wrong, but it was all they had. Yet some ancient humans did more than just blame worms. They fought back. 59,000 years ago, in a cave in Siberia, a Neanderthal girl was in agony. Her tooth had rotted down to the nerve. The pain must have been excruciating, beyond anything we can imagine. Someone in her tribe picked up a stone drill made of jasper. They carved out the rot. For over an hour, no anesthetic, no mercy, just a steady hand and desperation. Neanderthals actually had a lower pain tolerance than modern humans. This was not cruelty. This was an act of desperate love. 9,000 years ago in Pakistan, at a place called Mehrgarh, archaeologists unearthed 11 drilled molars, flint drills in the hands of Neolithic dentists. The holes were clean, precise, and effective. In Mesopotamia, 700 years before Christ, a man sat in pain. He recited a spell, the story of the toothworm, a creature that lived between enamel and gum, drinking blood. The treatment? Smoke the worm out with burning seeds and beer. Then pack the hole with gum and wax. Hammurabi's law was simple. Knock out a man's tooth, lose your own. An eye for an eye. A tooth for a tooth, literally. Egypt had court dentists with titles so absurd they sound like jokes. One was also called Guardian of the Anus. Dentistry was versatile and deeply strange. Egyptian pain relief was generous, opium, lots of opium. Also mouthwashes, fumigation smoke, and desperate prayers. Ancient India was far more advanced. Vedic texts prescribed daily brushing with twigs and herbal paste. They wired loose teeth to healthy ones with actual gold thread. Hippocrates himself invented toothpaste, barley, vinegar, and salt. It worked. Sort of. But none of these remedies helped when a tooth was rotting to the nerve. The pain always won. Rome fell, and dentistry fell with it. For 1,000 years, your only option was the barber. Barber-Surgeons. Exactly what it sounds like. The same man who cut your hair also pulled your teeth. The red and white pole? White is bandages. Red is blood. Traveling tooth pullers performed at carnivals and fairs. Extraction was public entertainment. Assistants pretended to have teeth pulled without flinching, to lure in paying customers. Offstage, they were crying. Most tooth pullers were charlatans, with no training at all. They left behind shattered jaws and fatal infections. The toothworm theory refused to die. For 2,000 years, nobody figured out the real cause. Then, in 1723, a French dentist named Pierre Fauchard changed everything. He identified the real culprit: sugar. Not demons. Not worms. Just sugar. A discovery that should have ended the suffering forever. But even after Fauchard, there was still no pain relief. Getting a tooth pulled remained pure agony. People drank themselves unconscious before appointments. Alcohol was the only anesthetic available. Opium, laudanum, morphine, cocaine. All of them were used. All of them were addictive. All of them were terrible. Some people simply died on the chair. A tooth infection could spread to the brain. A toothache could be a death sentence. Then, in 1846, a dentist named William Morton made history. He demonstrated ether anesthesia for the first time. A patient had a tooth pulled and felt absolutely nothing. For the first time in human existence, dentistry was painless. In 1905, Novocaine was finally synthesized. Safe, effective, non-addictive, a genuine miracle. Fillings, crowns, implants, root canals. Every single one was invented in the last 200 years. Modern dentistry represents about 0.004% of human history. For 99.996%, you had a sharp rock, a barber, or nothing. So next time you were in that chair, gripping the armrest, complaining about the drill, the noise, the discomfort, remember what came before. Your ancestors would have killed for this moment. They suffered so you would not have to. Be grateful for Novocaine. And maybe, just maybe, thank your dentist.